Eduardo says, "Hey, Semantic Mastery, I'm looking to cut down costs for indexing services like Omega Indexing. Wondering if there's a good free or cheap way we can index all of our links and link building for client projects." Okay, so I got some real, strong opinions on this right now, and that is, guys, I've been testing my ass off for the last several months. I mean, on link building, on all different types of link building, and I can tell you right now, the spam links, bulk spam, is just not doing what it used to do. It's just not nearly as effective. And so I'm just not using it. About 3 weeks ago now, I decided I'm just not going to use spam links anymore. I'm just not going to do it. Bulk spam. As much as I hate to say that, for years, I was able to crush it. We were able to crush it by, just doing massive amounts of bulk spam links to our, SEO shield properties or tier one entity assets, all that stuff. And it would work. And I'm not saying that you still can't do it, but you need so much more higher volume of it. And the problem is everything is taking, like, indexing is broken right now. It's so slow. And so you can have, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of spam links built, but getting them indexed to where they're going to count and do anything is really where the problem is. So I don't know that it's the links themselves, but it's the indexing, if that makes sense. So it's very difficult to get, and that's part of the reason I just don't want to use them anymore. They're not getting indexed. It takes such high volume. And then when you do run them through, you have to run them through multiple indexers, which is a huge bill in itself. Especially when you're doing mass links, like you said, Omega Indexer, it's like 2 cents per link or 0.2 cents per link indexing cost. And it's just not feasible, right? If you've got 10,000 links, that's going to cost you an arm and a leg just to run it through an indexer. And it's very unlikely that they're going to get indexed anyways. So I just stopped using them. I made the decision. I'm not going to use bulk spam anymore, period. End of story. I'm using higher quality links now. I pay more for them, but they're much more effective. They index a lot quicker. They move the needle. I'm trying to use mostly niche relevant links. So from topically relevant sources where possible. But again, I'm going to be covering all of this on Thursday in our mastermind webinar about, what I've discovered over the last many months, that I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on links, and I've discovered what's really working right now. And again, so I made my own decision. I'm not going to use bulk spam. If you're still going to continue to use it, then what I would recommend is that you would, put all of your links into like a G Sheet, for example, make it a public folder. If you don't know how to do that, you can always create a public folder by sharing a doc into an account that does have public folders. You can't do that anymore with new accounts, but if you have an account where you had public folders at some time, then you could place doc, like a Google Sheet, into that folder and make it public. And then you can insert all of your links there. And then you could build some links to that sheet to get, the bots to come crawl it and all that kind of stuff. But even that's not really a guarantee that they're going to get indexed. But that's the only way that I could do it, because I use Omega Indexer myself, but I'm only doing real high quality links now. So my volume is considerably lower. I mean, like, it's a fraction of what I used to do. Right. And so it's not really much of an expense. It's negligible because I'm only indexing really high quality links. And a lot of those cases, those links index on their own because I'm using, blogs that have already traffic on them. And that's a big thing. And by the way, that's another way that you can index links, is by sending traffic to your links. But you can't do that when you've got tens of thousands of links. How are you going to send traffic to all those links? Right. But if you go out and you place, your own links in like really well-tuned tier one assets. So content on tier one assets, which is one of my preferred methods, period. Again, I'm going to be talking a lot about this on Thursday. But if you like buy a guest post or a niche edit or a link insertion, but guys, don't buy cheap ones, because again, they're junk. Trust me, I've done a ton of testing over the last couple of months. And if you buy shit, junk niche edits or link insertions, you're going to get shit results. And they're going to be, 8 other links hacked into that same article with the same damn outbound anchor text. So it completely dilutes the power of the link itself. And also, if you're buying shit guest posts on cheap blogs, you're going to get, tier one links that are pointing back to your site that are right alongside like casino posts and pharma posts and stuff like that. So I'm saying, if you're going to spend money on links, you're going, my opinion is get higher quality links, the ones that are going to move the needle, that are going to stick. It's going to help you to rank and stick. And then you've got now much less volume. And one of the tricks that absolutely helps links to index is running traffic through it. Right. So if you go from building 10,000 links to building 10 links with the same basic cost, really, but you've only got 10 links now, of course you can run them through indexers because it's only 10 links. And then you can set up CT spam traffic, right? CT manipulation, CTR manipulation, whatever you want to call it. I always called it CT spam. So click-through, right? You can, if you have access to any one of the click-through tools, CTR booster tools, I personally use Viper tools, Michael Bose. We still have an affiliate link for that, I believe, but an SM short link, Chris, if you want to grab it. But Viper tools is great. And I like to do that because if I'm placing an art, like for example, and I'll reveal this, one of my favorite linking strategies right now to link to the money site, but it's more than that, is cloud hosted pages. They're fantastic because you like cloud hosted pages, meaning HTML pages on Google Cloud Storage, Amazon S3, Microsoft Azure, like those types of sources where you're using like the cloud storage domain, and you're instantly, like, for example, I just published my very first HTML site using this awesome HTML builder that one of our mastermind members pointed out to me called Mobirise, MOBIRISE.com. It's $100. It's a fantastic HTML site builder. I picked it up and it was either New Year's Day or I think it was the day after New Year's. So I think it was Sunday, the 2nd, whatever. I spent about 4 hours kind of playing with that HTML builder, and I figured out just to learn how to use it. And I also learned how to set up a HTML hosted site on Google Cloud Storage. And so I built this site and published the site into Google Cloud Storage on their domain. And when I went to go view it in the browser, I had the Moz bar turned on, and it's 93 domain authority and like 48 page authority, like just like that, like brand new URL with that much authority. So those are like my favorite like tier 1 links right now because we can control the content, right? So really well-tuned content, which by the way, we're launching our Content Kings business at the end of the month so that you can get really well-tuned SEO entity-tuned content that now you can place as tier 1 links on these cloud hosted pages and siphon instant amount of high authority from those domains. And you can control all the outbound links on the page, unlike on guest posts or niche edits. Does that make sense? And you can also link to all of your tier 0 assets, which includes your location landing page, your money site, your Google business website, and your map, right? So you can put a map embed, you can put NAP in the page, super relevant content on a super high authority cloud storage domains, various domains, right? Microsoft Azure Cloud, Google Cloud Storage, S3. I'm starting to use Rackspace, Linode, Vulture, like all of these, because I'm doing a lot of this right now. It's super powerful. And you can control those tier 1 links. And now you can build topically relevant links at tier 2, not mass links, but good links, right? So niche relevant PBN links and that kind of stuff at tier 2 to those cloud hosted pages and push massive amounts of authority as well as relevance, topical relevance through those tier 1 links. And now you've only got a handful of links to index and you can run traffic to them, right? So you can set up CT, spam tools that will run traffic through your tier 1 links to your money site, which will help your tier 1 links to get indexed. You can even do it out of tier 2. If you're not doing tens of thousands of links, you can set up campaigns to run tier links from traffic, referral traffic from the tier 2 links to your tier 1 assets, which will help your tier 1 assets, and then set up separate campaigns to run traffic from your tier 1 assets to your money site. Does that make sense? And that the traffic, it's like magic, right? It helps those links to index, and it's showing activity on those links, which you can't do with bulk spam. And I mean, maybe somebody's got some tools that does that, but honestly, I don't see the point anymore. Like it's just not working like it used to. And I found just some really, really, really good ways to use links right now. I've been like obsessing about it for the last few months, but I love it. It's a lot of fun. I also like digging into the data, looking at backlink profiles and everything else. So hopefully, Eduardo, I answered your question. Like, if you're going to continue to use bulk spam links, there's not really a lot that you can do. There is one other source I'm going to point out real quick that I just started using. And they've got some different, tiers and everything else, but because I'm not doing bulk links anymore, I'm using this one tier here. It's called speed-links.net, speed-links.net. And so I'm subscribed at this $500 per month for $9.99 because it's some new indexing method, whatever. I don't know what that means, but I only get 500 with one subscription. I only get 500 links per month, but I'm not really building more than that right now, if that makes sense, because I'm doing a lot less links, but much higher quality. But for those of you that are still doing bulk spam, they've got some other, indexing methods here with, for indexing bulk spam. But like I said, guys, I mean, I've been testing for months and months and months, and I've not found bulk spam to really be doing what it used to. It used to work like crazy, and it's just not now. And I don't know that that's the links problem or if it's the indexing problem. It's probably a combination of both, but they're just not working. So why keep pissing money away on stuff that's not moving the needle? That's my point, you know. Anyway, I like the better links too, because they tend to have a quicker effect. They, you know, and you see it quicker. I mean, even those are still sometimes are indexing slower, but if you publish on a high traffic blog or you mimic traffic by using like CT spam tools, then, or you could even set up some Google display ads and run traffic to the page where your link is placed that you're trying. So like, again, like a tier 1 cloud hosted page, for example, if you want to use that, it might not index right away unless you're sending traffic to it. So you can use CT spam bots to do it, or you could set up like a Google ads display campaign and run some traffic to that page. The problem, there's not a problem, but the difference is when you got a CT spam tool, then you can direct the bots, right, to the simulated traffic to click through once they land on that page, to click through your target URL back to your money site, which is a good signal. It's a referral traffic signal. But when you're buying traffic through Google ads, which again, that's a great strategy because those are real people too, right? Those are real Google users. So that's great traffic to help the page index, but you can't direct those users when they click the ad and they land on the page to click on the link back to your money site. Again, it just, you know, whatever you want to do. If you don't want the expense of a CT spam tool, then perhaps you can use Google ads. I mean, I know you can, I've done it, but you don't have as much control over what that traffic does, if that makes sense. So anyway, I get excited about this stuff. Can you tell? All right, let's move on. Hopefully that answers your question, Eduardo. My recommendation is stop using spam, but if you're going to, you have to be a little bit more creative. Google Sheets is still a good way to get it done. You know, but you got to get the bots to come crawl the sheets. I've talked about this before, but you know, using the ID page is a good place to do it. It's an iframe loop. So you can actually you can publish a G sheet and embed it into an ID page, and the bots are going to come crawl that. So you could constantly just continually add links to that. I usually only do that with citations for you know, local projects. That's all I do is local anyways. But you could probably do it with bulk spam too, and get at least get the links crawled, maybe not indexed, but crawled. And that's really what matters, right? Anyway.